So, you've been working all day. You've been in the heels all day.
Okay.
And guess what? I have a present for you. It's time for you.
Thank you.
Yep, it's time for you to rest your feet. So first sit over here and give them a try. Put them on. Your very own Kangapoda slippers.
Oh my God, they feel so comfy.
They are really comfy. And the truth is, if you throw them in the washing machine and dryer with your towels and your pajamas, they're going to stay nice and comfy for a long time. Yes.
Love them. Thank you so much.
Okay, sit down. And I want to tell you something that's interesting. I don't know that I shared this with you, but I shared it with Gloria. Last month, our Kangapoda's number one video was when we chatted like this about Timothy Chalamet
Oh, you remember.
and Bob Dylan.
Nice.
And so we're going to do it again, but we're going to talk a little sports right now. Because you know I love the NBA, but I love sports, but I have a whole hodgepodge of thoughts. So we're going to do it, and hopefully everyone out there will appreciate our superhero in Kangapoda slippers, who's helping us today, and because I certainly do. All right, so let's talk a little sports. Let's start NBA. Cavaliers have fallen off a cliff. Yeah, they've had some injuries, but they're finally playing good teams. And I've spoken about this repeatedly for a year plus. And what I've said is you can't win with two small guards. I thought the Cavaliers really understood this when they went with three bigs. They went with Larry Markkinen, and they went with Jared Allen, and they went with Larry Markkinen and Mobley. And they're bigs, 3 7-footers, and it changed things. But the next thing you know, they traded away everyone to get Donovan Mitchell. And Donovan Mitchell's a great guy. But when you're really, really playing, height is vital. You can't teach height. Any of us who have played the game, I mean, listen, 6'6" used to be big. When I was 6'6" was big. And I'll tell you something, when you were playing someone who was 6'6", and I was a good player, you could go and look back and good luck. Good luck. The guy's 6'6", how do you do it? So the Cavaliers have fallen off a cliff, and they'll regroup. They have some talent. And Darius Garland, oh God, think about this. He's a 90% free throw shooter, and he missed 2 in a row. So the probability, right, 90%, the probability of the first one of missing is 10%. The probability of going 2 for 2, 10% probabilities, missing them both, is 1%. And he missed them. There you go. The Warriors have fallen off a cliff. Steph Curry is getting older, but the whole team's not there. You know Steph Curry,
Yeah,
of course.
Of course.
But
That's not.
But listen, it's tough. The game's real tough. What you're seeing, and I've spoken about this a variety of times now, is you need everyone on the court to be able to play. So the teams that are good, you're having 5 and 6 and sometimes even 7 players in double figures. That's awesome. I know the league is all bent out of shape. Oh, why is viewership down? And not, well, I believe it's Donald Trump. I mentioned this before. The NBA, good for you guys, not going and seeing a corrupt president. You're the best. You're the best of us in that way. And you are right now our heroes. Keep it up. Patrick Mahomes, you should learn from Taylor Swift. You see her all the time. She's a superhero and a good person. And you, unfortunately, your wife and your mom, you're super MAGA nuts. And you sit there on camera and you think, well, oh, I'm not taking a stand, so I just do your research, right? You do your research and go and vote and make. Well, I want to know what research you performed, right? What did you do? How did you become a MAGA nut where you're in favor of a dictator? Really? Go ahead, try to even articulate it. I know you can't. None of you can. You should all be ashamed of yourselves. Okay, back to sports. The Australian Open was awesome, set all kinds of records. It's hard when it's on so early, but let's give a few shout-outs. Madison Keys. Good for you, honey. Good for you. I mean, we've watched you for, a dozen years, it feels like. Close to it. She was, as a young girl, identified as almost like a can't miss. And then she missed over and over and over and over. And when it really came down to it, she would choke. Not this time. Not this time. You beat Iga Swiatek and you beat Sabalenka. Thank you. Arena Sabalenka, who's great. It was an awesome match. I could have been a farmer. I get up so early, so I get to see all these matches. And Madison, you were just wonderful. You won it, man. And Irina, shame on you for smashing your racket after you lost. Come on, people are watching and just sportsmanship and, all right, you lost a Grand Slam to someone playing out of her mind. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And let's talk men. So Djokovic in the semis retires. And they've gone out of their way to say hamstring injury, and look, they even are showing an MRI on national TV. Shame on all of you. I watched it. And the bottom line is, if he's injured, either don't play or stop playing when you're that moment, but to go and finish the set and lose the set and then retire. Oh, I'm hurt. It was optically awful. And Djokovic, at this point, I mean, you should worry about the optics. There was another match where you refused to give an interview. So, you've been a great champion, but this is why you're not as beloved as Roger Federer, as Nadal, because your instincts maybe were a little bit off. But I found it repulsive what went on. Confusing and repulsive. Next. Good for you, Yannick Sinner. Boy, you've really, you demolished Sasha Zverev. You destroyed him, and to the point where he even said, you're the best in the world, and I don't have a chance. I mean, which is, an interesting thing for the runner-up to say. But you've been that good, so congrats to you. Patrick Mahomes, I'm not going to watch you today. You're also on Fox, and I stay away from that poison too. But really, look hard in the mirror. I know you think you're above it all, and there's something wrong. You have more than half, because they kept people from voting, of the population are terrified about what's going on each and every moment? Are you that big of a bully that you don't even care that everyone is terrified? And why are we terrified? You think you're smarter than me? You're not smarter than me. I know you throw a football better than I do. You're not smarter than me. I promise you're not. So why am I terrified? Why do I see things that are just abhorrent and you don't, but you won't listen? Right? You think you're a big quarterback so you know more? No! You obviously know nothing. You know less. And you've surrounded yourself with ass kissers, who aren't able to steer you in the right direction. Roger Clemens, I've brought you up before, shame on you. The list is endless, of course. But we're the United States of America. This is my sports rant. But for me, it's all tied together. Want to show your slippers one more time? You can put them up there. Got them. Got them. Got them. You're able to zoom in and see how awesome you get that little white thing off your thing. There they are. You're going to really enjoy it, by the way. We wear our slippers all the time. This is Hal Mintz and Raquel. Thumbs up for 4 feet up. Thank you very much. Peace and love.